Right, I'm going to do a very short experience report on NSI-189. God, I look a bit... Anyways, I'm not actually on the substance, just to clarify. I have to keep clarifying it in videos now, because I think people are making a few mistakes as to what I mean when I say on a substance. So yeah, it's just about the substance. Not much to say really. It's not really a substance that doses seem to noticeably make a difference, but I don't know because I haven't had a high doses for a long time. But anyways, I had the 20mg NSI-189 tablets, which I got from IntelliMeds, and I was taking those every day for about 2 months. Now NSI-189 is a nootropic that's allegedly kind of boosts your cognitive abilities, but also over time produces better and more consistent moods in average people, essentially. So it's not a chemical that you take a little bit of and more of, and you get higher and higher the more you take. It's just something that slowly gives you a little bit like a supplement, a bit like 5-HTP, about time, just supplements. But yeah, so the effects with taking 20mg kind of felt just a little bit more awake and more alive during the day when I was first taking them, but honestly not too sure whether that was real effect or placebo effect, because the effect was minuscule. So yeah, I could probably put it down to placebo if I'm honest. Without randomized tests I couldn't really know, but honestly I'll just put it down to placebo, because yeah, the effects basically seemed to be minimal. There were basically no side effects to taking this chemical on a day-to-day basis. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, day-to-day, or how would I put this, you don't feel the effects immediately. It's not something that you take and during the day you're like, oh wow, this has really helped me. However, I did notice after probably about a month, I'd say, that I started to feel sort of not necessarily better, generally better, but more just emotional in general. Kind of like my emotional perceptions and functions had sort of improved, but actually it meant I was slightly more sad too. Well, sad would be the wrong word. More, how shall I put this, sort of locked up bad emotions like sadness and depression. I was able to cry them out or feel them more. So yeah, I just became a more feeling person, is what I'd say. And I'd say that because I was able to feel these emotions more and express them, I became a lot less depressed, a lot happier. Yeah, just due to emotional release coming easier. So I would say that NSI-189 works well as probably an antidepressant, but as well slightly intensifies emotion. So I could see how it could be a catastrophic thing to take long term. I found that it did generally improve my mood much more than it put me down. And after about 2 or 3 months, yeah, I was starting to feel pretty damn human compared to normal. Maybe superhuman would be the word. A lot more emotional, a lot happier, a lot sort of better together in my own mind. But I discontinued it because sometimes I was too emotionally perceptive, and just because, to be honest, I have no idea what the hell it was doing to my brain in actual, chemical terms, or in terms of, well, there's not been long-term studies on it as of yet, I don't think, so I have no idea what it actually did to my brain. So for that reason I thought it would be best to discontinue that chemical rather than take it, for another year or two and then realise that I'm actually really fucking with my brain. And yeah, I sort of discontinued use. The good effects sort of lasted about a month and a half until after discontinuation. and then there'd probably be a 2 week period where my mood was slightly better and my emotions were slightly better, but I just didn't notice. So yeah, probably 2 months to return to baseline from taking them for about 3 months. So you know, it takes about a month and a half, 2 months before you really start noticing it. So with discontinuation, I guess I felt the effects for about 2.5, 3 months. So yeah, what I would say about NSI-189 is it definitely works as a sort of cognitive enhancer somewhat. I did notice increases in good feelings, my mood and my concentration was a little better as a result of the emotional health that I got. Works much better as a sort of an antidepressant or a general I don't know, sort of emotional release mechanism, but it's a long-term sort of antidepressant or emotional release mechanism, whichever one you'd like to call it. But as it stands as a chemical, I don't feel like I know enough about it to have long-term use as such. For that reason, I discontinued it. I also felt like it was just slightly too intensely emotional after a while. Not necessarily in a bad way, but more that sometimes that could interfere with regular functioning. Like being a robot is useful in some regards. And yeah, I just found that, as I say, whilst it didn't really help day to day or it didn't give me an immediate boost, it was just a good supplement to take over a long period of time. Definitely helped clear up some mood issues, but yeah, I think it's just the fact that there's not that much known about it yet long term that made me discontinue. I think given another 5 or 6 years or maybe 10 to 15 years of research on this particular chemical, if it's shown that it gives favourable results and only favourable results or a majority of favourable results, I'd probably consider, in fact probably would, take this again for quite a few weeks. So yeah, that's just my experience report with NSI-189. Hope you enjoyed it.